With every breath, a promise to rise. Together we chase the limitless skies. Galvanize the world, feel the mold of my life. Every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity. Galvanize the world, feel the light. With every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity.
Well, hello to all you Galvanators out there. Byron Belka here to welcome you this week to our Galvanators Unite call. And it's not just a new week, but it is a new month. And so excited to have you all here today to join us on this call, to go over some of the highlights of last month and to focus on what we're going to be doing this month, because it is going to be our best month that we've ever had. Our best month this year as we continue to grow with everything that's happening. And just to kind of give you an update, as you know, one of our goals is we want to get out there and we want wallets. Our goal is to get wallets out there, get as many as we possibly can. And so I was going to just go over this real quick with everybody. We want to go and get 1 million wallets. And the reason that we're focused on 1 million wallets here at Galvan is because we know most projects that have taken off, they have wallets. And so as we go out there and share this opportunity in this community with everybody, since this is blockchain, it's beautiful that we have a chance to see, and so does everybody else. So they want to see, that this is a community that's growing. And so as we go out there and share wallets and share some of our tokens with people, as we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the call, it just adds a validity to everything else that we're doing, and it puts us in a position to win. So as of now, we have 39,175 native wallets. So that's our native token with our Galvan Eyes rewards and those types of wallets. So 39,175. And as far as Ethereum or ERC20 wallets, we have 8,965. So it's a big deal. And it's not just about having one wallet, it's about having another. If you haven't bridged over to ERC20 yet, that creates another wallet for Galvan. So you got Galvan and our native token. When you switch it over to ERC20 or put it on the Ethereum blockchain, that's an additional wallet. And more wallets are coming as we have some big announcements that are going to happen. Hopefully this month with different places we're going to be able to utilize the token and bridge to. But it's awesome to be able to see this community growing and good things happening, as we continue to push forward. And I know Casey's going to talk about this a little bit later, but we're going to have people be able to get and experience the rewards in different ways this month, since we've started a few things last month, but I'll let her share some of that. But let's get into this. First off, what we want to do is we want to hand it off to Adam, have Dr. Sharp talk about his story here, how he was here, how he became a part of Galvan, and why he's so passionate about this. So we're going to turn the time over to Dr. Sharp.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Sharp, and I am a physician and formerly someone who did a lot of health services research. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about why I came to Galvan and why I've been a part of its founding origin and why I think everybody should be a part of it. So let's get started. Galvan. Let me tell you, there's a quote that I think is most reflective of what we're doing here at Galvan, and it's this one by Ralph Waldo Emerson: "The first wealth is health." I was fortunate growing up. I didn't have any serious health problems until I was playing basketball in college and broke my ankle. I'd never had any serious injuries. But each of us, regardless of how healthy we are, regardless of how fortunate we may be, we will find ourselves at some point where we are sick, or maybe worse, like in my case, someone we love who is sick. I have 4 children, and my youngest is our only daughter. We have 3 boys and a girl. And we found ourselves, unfortunately, in the ICU, having need of emergency neurosurgery requirements, as well as critical care. She was on a ventilator. And when you find yourself in that moment, you realize that there is no amount of money that you wouldn't offer in order to gain the health of somebody you love. Often we forget about that. And the things that we do have in our control are not prioritized as they should be. It is my core belief that everyone, regardless of race, ethnicity, geography, creed, gender, or whatever it might be, personal preferences, everybody deserves to be given the best opportunities to be healthy. And it's our decision and our ability to make the decisions, our agency to choose what's in our own best interest. And so, my professional life has taken an interesting turn. I was an emergency physician. I did a research fellowship, and then I came to a large integrated health system in California at Kaiser Permanente. I was part of the director of the care improvement research team, and I was also part of their founding faculty for their new medical school. I had different professional missions there, and I learned a lot. You can see this picture in their medical school, and I was wearing a mask. This was in the midst of COVID. I learned that people were no longer trusting organizations that were formally designed to improve their health, whether that be the government or insurance or government agencies like the Center for Disease Control or health systems. And that's where my friend who'd been talking to me about the blockchain came along and showed me some of the benefits of how this new technology could actually solve many ongoing chronic problems with regard to helping ourselves to be our healthiest self. And so I came here mostly because I want everybody to know about this. I want everybody to have the tools that they need in order to be their happiest. And so our mission is to galvanize the world to heal humanity. It's to give everybody the tools, the information, and the transparency in order to make their own decisions and to make their own life its very best. So, as I mentioned, the old paradigm, it's centralized, and there was reasons for this. Even the term patient that we use, you'd think that patient comes from the amount of time you have to wait before you can get in to see a health professional. So it requires a lot of patience. That's actually not the origin. It comes from the origin in Latin, and I'm not an etymologist, but to suffer. And so the way that the health system is primarily built is to relieve suffering. But that has been centralized. We have learned that there is so much waste, billions and billions of dollars spent that are waste. We know that we don't have much control. We are at the mercy of where we live and how the system runs. We know that other people are often incentivized for us to be healthy, which isn't the way it should be. And there's almost no transparency around why things are done the way they should and how it should help us. That's where the blockchain technology comes in and can solve many of these. You can be the owner of software that helps to control a blockchain transactions that are visible. It's decentralized across the world. It can be anyone that wants to participate. And there are rewards that can incentivize you for doing the things that you should to be healthy. And there's complete transparency. It can cut out a lot of the waste and be far more efficient. So that's what we're here to do with Galvan. And there's a lot of different things for you to learn about us, but node governance is a third party that makes sure that we do what the community has recommended. It democratizes our health and decentralizes the control. So even though I'm one of the leaders at Galvan, I don't control what happens, the community does. And this blockchain is supported by owners in over 30 countries. So it's not even controlled by any given country or group or individual. Health should be unique to you. And the tools in order to be your best self are very similar across all the different peoples across all the world. So this all sums up for, I think, if you know the story about William Ernest Henley, you've heard me talk about this before. This was a remarkable man, and as a young child had to suffer because he had an infection that required them to remove one of his legs. And when he was in the hospital again, thinking they were going to remove his second leg, that's when he wrote this poem. That's when he was in a hospital at a time where typically people never came out. They passed away in the hospital. And he recognized even at that time, way back when, that he was the master of his fate and the captain of his soul. How much more important is it nowadays that we have this beautiful blockchain technology in order to be the masters of our fate and be the captains of our soul? So come join us with Galvan and help us to help the world, to galvanize the world and heal humanity. And thank you for listening in. See you soon.
Adam, thank you very much. That was great. I'm going to jump right into some product information. So we'll bring my product screen up on the menu for you, and let's jump into G Plus. Um, First, wealth is health. What a beautiful day. I'm sitting here in Utah. It's about 84 degrees. I'm looking out my window, not a cloud in the sky, low humidity, and feeling sunshine in my soul. So, yeah, awesome there. I've got my wallet all set up. I can check that box off. I think I'm doing great. What I'd like to do though is just instead of me thinking about it, let's check and see, am I really, how well am I really doing? And so if I go in to my wellness check, and here's part of that ownership we talked about. Um, we can go in and do our wellness check, which checks those 2,550 biomarkers every 10th of a second. So every second, we're checking them 25,000 times. And if you compute that up to 40 seconds, we're over 1,000,000 times we're checking those biomarkers. And so that is what you call AI or machine learning or just big data. And so here's the beauty of it. I wanted to talk a little bit about mood and stress today, mainly because it is the start of a new month. And I wanted to show you the power of Galvan as it relates to those. As you can see, my energy is just barely in that blue capsule. And so I'm still in the normal range on my energy. Same with my mood, dangling there just in the normal realm. And then with my stress, I'm a little on the positive side, right? And so I want to dig deeper into mood and stress today and show you the power of them from a statistical purpose, right? As we look at the trend lines there, I'm going to show you how those are doing over a year's time. So you can see the consistency that I have with my mood. Uniquely with the stress is coming down a little. There's kind of a trend line there over the last year. Let's look at 6 months. So you can even see on the 6 months, my stress level has come down even a little bit. But the part I wanted to emphasize was the next screen. In the background, we check on your depression. Now, if you're concerned about your mental health, typically you'll go to a doctor and they will give you a survey. Surveys are GAD-7 or the PHQ-8 or 9. And so you have these surveys that they give you, and they're multiple choice. And you go there and they give you a reading. And then based on that, they have a lot of information. And so you can see that whether you do that quarterly or whether you do that annually, you typically, when you go in for a physical, I notice on mine, they will have a little survey on the phone system when I'm registering. And so they'll ask me some of those questions, etc. But what I've noticed is we do it a little different. We check every day, and then we give you a monthly view of how you're doing with your depression and your anxiety. Now, uniquely, if you look at the bottom right, you'll see we've just started September. So far in September, I really only have 2 data points. I've checked it yesterday and I checked it today. We do it in the background. When you do your wellness check, it just automatically does it for you. And so you can see from my trend line, that's a little higher than I've been lately. And so what we want to do is highlight that it's probably not something I need to address immediately. Of course, I'm only in the medium range to begin with, but it's higher than my norm or my norm lately, right? But here's the beauty of it. Because in the background, we check it every day. As you have more data points to your month, it will become more solid, more accurate, more you, if you will. And so instead of just going and getting one data point based on a survey of questions, we will just check it in the background and you'll get a fairly accurate representation of all 30 days in September of how I've done. Or when I look at August, all 31 days in the background, if I did my wellness check every day, or even if you did it 2 or 3 times a week, that is probably more clinically accurate than doing once at your doctor's office. Plus, the other side of this, which Dr. Sharp mentioned, is I own my data. I can check it when I want. I don't have to worry about the anxiety level. I talked to an individual the other day and it said, I was going to the doctor to check on my anxiety. And so I knew that they were going to be checking on it. And I can't tell you how much more anxious I was just even getting to the doctor and knowing that I was having a check on my anxiety. It spiked my anxiety to begin with. And so I was concerned I wasn't going to have a good reading. But anyway, we will check those for you each time that you do it. Even if you do it a couple times a week, that's probably a better accurate reading of you as you own your data than going to the doctor. Am I suggesting not going to the doctor? No, definitely go to the doctor, do their tests. But here's the thing that I thought was interesting. When I went to the doctor, he talked to me about my mental health. He talked to me about my exercise. I just went in and I clicked this and I said, share Galvan. And I could share, I sent him a text and shared him my depression over the last year. And he said, wow, I don't have any more questions. You're doing great. And thank you for providing the data. And so we can provide the data to the health professionals that we check with. It is pretty awesome. And so I just wanted to touch base with you to make sure that you are taking advantage of these tools that are provided for you. And with that, I will end and we will go back to the beginning. Note again, just one little highlight as I touch on it. Note that even with my stress, mood, and energy being in the positive or my normal or more or better side, and so I don't have a normal power up pop up, I want to make sure that you know that underneath you still have those 3 boxes that give you a power up. Now, again, the definition of a power up is something that you can do in the next 10 minutes to improve your mental health capability. So we've got the green, the purple, and the red box, and they're random. So it's behind door number 1, 2, or 3. You pick the one you want, and you'll get one that will boost your day even better than the 84 degrees and sunshine in my soul that I've got here currently. With that, I'm checking back out, heading to my main page, and thank you for taking a little time to do a tour of the G Plus app with us. If you've got any questions, again, feel free to drop them, and we will continue to make sure we're doing that. Oh, I noticed that who's in first place with wellness checks? That would be my Colombian friend asking the question, because I definitely believe he is in first place on the trend line and doing awesome. I don't think I'll ever catch him in my life, but it's good incentive. Thank you for checking. You're doing awesome. With that, I'm going to turn the time over to Casey. Casey, you're up. Thank you.
Okay, so I am excited because now that it's September, we are about to have our first eyes distribution for the digital gym memberships. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I just want to show you guys when I send this out. It's going to be going out on Friday. When you guys are looking for it, you're going to just log into your Galvan account, and then you can click wallet here on the left. And then again, you'll see that there's eyes down here at the bottom, and then there's eyes rewards. We are going to pay out the gym membership tokens in eyes rewards. So you'll just click right here, and then it's going to look exactly like this. You're going to see your transaction history, and you'll see a little line right here. It says received. Oops. It'll say received, and it'll have the amount. Again, if you're doing the common, you're getting $30 worth of eyes. The epic is $60. And I don't remember off the top of my head the number for the legendary, but whatever you've qualified for, you can click this and it's going to take you to the block explorer, and it's just going to show you the transaction coming in. This is just the log from the ledger of the transaction being paid to your wallet. But if you're looking in the Eyes Rewards, that's where you're going to see it. If you're looking under this Eyes section, just keep in mind, this is your ERC20. So this is what's been bridged. So it won't show up here, but it will show up in your Eyes Rewards. I'll be sending that out on Friday. And so anybody that qualified in August has already gotten that, and they've been submitting their proof and everything. If you have any questions on any of that, just click this support button. And then right here, you can just search for gym, and that's going to bring up an FAQ about the gym membership. This will answer a lot of the questions around that, the digital gym membership program, how you can submit it, how you'll get paid, how we're calculating the payments, everything like that. So read through this. If you have any questions that aren't answered in this, just hit this submit a request button, and then you can fill out this form, and that'll go over to our support team. But those tokens will be going out on Friday. You will get an email saying, congratulations, we've sent those out. So if you have any questions on that, just reach out to us and let us know. And then keep those tokens coming in, the swaps for Eyes. We're going to have a drawing here in a little bit, and we've already gotten some entered for this next week. So we love seeing that. And then I'm going to hand that back over to Byron.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Case. And thank you, Robert. Appreciate that information. And always good hearing the story and how real this is. Galvan for people like, Dr. Sharp and his family and all of us. I think that we can relate. There's a lot of people out there that we know that are dealing with something health-wise or mentally. And how would it be if you knew where one of your loved ones stood and how they were mentally feeling? And they can do that just by speaking into the G Plus app. I mean, that is powerful. These are tools that just didn't exist years ago, but they do today. And in fact, we reward for it. I mean, we're rewarding for all of these things. And so I want to congratulate all of those who took advantage of the digital gym memberships before the end of the month to be able to get their first distribution by Friday. So for those that did, we're going to be reaching out to you because we're going to be looking for testimonials, get some videos and different things that we're going to use in some of our marketing material. And we want to have those people that have already gotten their tokens and gotten that reward for the first month to be a part of that. And if you haven't yet, you're going to want to act and get involved and do it this next month. Because like I said, once these memberships sell out, we'll probably do some others, but I don't know if we're going to be able to be as aggressive as we are being right now with how many tokens we're giving away and the value of that. But we got to go out there and show it and prove it. And it's just an awesome thing. So last week, I had challenged people to go out there and share something on social media. And I want to share my experience with you real quick, kind of what happened. But I'm going to bring this up so that you can remember. You're going to probably hear this a few times since this is something that we're really kind of focusing on with these memberships. But we want to make sure that it's valuable for them, right? What's in it for them? And the benefit for them is we're just trying to enhance their experience, trying to make sure that there's extra incentive. They're already spending the money. How about getting rewarded? Because right now, we're going and we're getting the benefit because we're working out, right? And maybe we're not even thinking we need to be rewarded. But why does it have to be one-sided? Why does it have to be where I go to the gym, where I pay for the gym, where I do everything, and I get that benefit? But what if I could flip that again? And I go to the gym and get rewarded, and it could help cover or subsidize what I'm doing. So if somebody comes in with just the common membership and they're able to take advantage of that for all 12 months, they're going to spend $150 and get what? $360. Okay. For the Epic, you're spending $250, but you have a chance to make $720, in Eyes tokens and Eyes value. And what I love about that is we're talking about the US equivalent. So it could be a different amount every single month. In fact, hopefully, as we're continuing to do this, those tokens are going to continue to go up. And as we see, same thing with the Legendary, going from getting $167 worth of tokens on a monthly basis for going out there and doing that, $500. I mean, it's awesome. You get up to $2,000. I mean, this one's crazy. This one is crazy. Someone's spending $500 doing what they're doing and getting $2,000 worth of value in tokens if they go and do that every month. So as I went out there and did this last month, I kind of told people what I was going to do. And if you go and look at my social, I did. I created a curiosity post and told people that, I was excited about, getting paid to work out, and that it wasn't a joke. And I've been paying and going to the gym for a long time. Now, here is the funny thing that I've seen about social, and I don't know why, but it seems like less and less people, I don't know if you're seeing this, are commenting and liking in front of everybody, but I got quite a few messages. In fact, I got 2 digital memberships set up at the end of the next week, and I probably have 3 in the next day or 2 that are going to purchase. And what I love about this is there's some people that I was able to go to that already had a wallet set up, that we're just doing that next step now. And others, I have to help set up a wallet with them. But that's the beauty of going out there and sharing wallets, is going out there and being able to have somebody ready to do the next thing. What is the next thing? The next thing is, whether it's oops, let's see if we can get this back here to the right view. There we go. I don't know what's going on there. But the next thing is are they going to get the G Plus app? Are they going to get a digital gym membership? Are they going to get a node? And here's kind of what we're finding as we're looking at, for every 10, this isn't an exact, but as we're looking at these numbers, for every 10 wallets that are given out, we're seeing about 1 person purchase a node, and we're seeing another person get some a G Plus app, or get one of these NFTs. So even if it's 20%, and that number is hopefully going to increase, but we're seeing right now, as we're maybe inefficient, as we're just getting to understand how to do this and learn, that about 20% of the people are purchasing something, because they already have the wallet. They see the benefit. You gave them some token, and now they're like, how do I get more of that? And we can start to show them how to do that exactly. So it's pretty powerful that all we're doing is giving somebody something for free. And because of that, now they're open to looking at the other things that we're doing and what Galvan really is about and how they can benefit. So I just want to challenge everybody, as we're getting started at the 1st of this month, how many wallets are you going to give out? Do you want to sell 3 nodes? Okay, well, then you're probably going to have to give away 30 wallets. Do you want to get a couple of gym memberships out there, digital gym memberships from Galvan, or some G Plus app? Well, it's going to start with wallets. And we're going to see that same type of a thing. Most people that get a node also get the wallet, but if you get the G Plus app, or you get the digital gym membership, once again, they're seeing the benefits of getting tokens from doing things just on a daily or monthly basis. So we're just giving people more and more of a chance to win. So what is it that you're after this month? What do you want to accomplish? And it's always about walking backwards. So if I want so many people to do, how many people do I need to invite? How many people do you need to reach out to for that to happen? And start keeping track of your numbers, because you'll hear me say this a million more times, but the difference between an amateur and a professional is professionals track everything. Now, why is this important for us? Because it's up to us to build the community. We're the ones that are going to get the wallets out there. We're the ones that are going to promote the nodes and this blockchain. We're the ones that are going to get the digital memberships out there. It's not just going to magically happen, because this is our community. And as we're building this community, we've got some exciting things that we're going to be sharing and announcing with some committee members that we're bringing into our Galvan community that are going to represent different aspects, whether it's the medical side of things, or the health side of things, or the sales side of things. And we're going to be bringing some of our members that we put into this committee onto this call, so you can introduce them. And every single one of them is impressive for their own given right, but they see the value just like you do, as you're part of this community, in what Galvan has to offer, in what we're doing here, and how this is going to change the world. We have a chance to change the world and change the way that people look at health and look at their future of well-being, and feel like that they're empowered, that they have control, because they know where they stand. So we need to be tracking things, just like in the G Plus app, as community members that are going out there and sharing and trying to build this community. And it comes down to what we believe in and what we're really trying to accomplish. Because one thing that you hear me say a lot is, we just don't, the timing right now is so critical. It's so important that for us to go out there and share. And this month of September, it is typically a great month for people to get focused and to go out there and make positive strides in their life. The next couple of months are going to be fast moving months. So we need to kind of get our focus. And I'm going to tell you one of the things that my mentor used to say. When I got into this business, like I said, I had somebody who was a multimillionaire, was willing to grab me by the arm when I was in my mid-20s and kind of teach me what to do here. And he said, Byron, all distractions are created equal. I don't care what the distraction is. It's not that things aren't important. Family is important, and this is, but all distractions are created equal. Why? Because every distraction, it doesn't matter what it is, if it takes us away from our goal, if it stops us from what we're doing and where we're wanting to go, if it stops and gets in the way of our consistency, it's a distraction. And those distractions are what make or break somebody from hitting their goals. You know, Stephen R. Covey has a son, and his son went out and created a book too. You've probably heard of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Well, he created a book, and it was going in and interviewing successful businesses, and maybe some businesses that were mid-level businesses and businesses that were very successful. And one of the things that he said, the main reason or difference between a business that went and reached their full potential, or maybe exceeded what people thought were going to happen, and maybe a business that just kind of was there and maybe even saw some success, but not the success that they could have. He called it it was all based on distraction. He just said people could not effectively follow through with what their goals were. They couldn't effectively put that game plan together and not allow distractions to get them off course. We call it kind of the whirlwind or the tornado of doing business, or even in our personal lives. There's always going to be a tornado. But if we can remember like what my mentor said, and that is all distractions are created equal, and that is we compartmentalize them. Do we need to deal with things outside of, pushing this community forward? And absolutely. But what can't happen is that we let the whirlwind take over. We let the chaos of life take over, and it directs where we end up. Because that was the difference that we were able to see from, if you read his book, from the very, very highly successful companies and those that just did okay. It was the ability to go out there and accomplish those tasks that they set out for them. That was basically it. So I'm looking at this month. We got a lot of things that are going to be happening. We got some announcements and some meetings that we're going to be doing. Right now, Galvan, in our community, we're expanding into other markets, into other countries, and we're going to be focusing on other tools and other languages. And it really is, that's one of the things that I learned when I first started with my mentor, and we were promoting different products and health products and different things. He said, Byron, do you want me to tell you how I see success and why I was able to see success? He's like, because I open up cities, states, and countries. I don't sell product. I create the supply chain scenario, the infrastructure for the product to flow. I open cities, states, and countries. And he said, I can show you how to do that. And in under 2 years, I was getting paid out of 11 countries, and it changed my life. This is an opportunity where we can take Galvan to how many countries around the world? How many people can we affect? Is there are billions of people. And so there's no way that we can say we don't have anybody to share this with. We don't have anybody to talk to, because health and wellness is so powerful. Personal wellness plans are so important. And here's what I found. Even when the economy is bad, whether it's good or bad, do you want to know what still grows? This industry. Why? Health and wellness, because it doesn't matter. People still care about their children, whether the economy is doing good or bad. They still care about how they look, how they feel, where they want to go. And so we have one of the greatest categories to focus on. And with Galvan being able to help heal humanity and empower people with their own information and their own path forward is so important. And as we get more and more people in this community that continue to share that, we are going to change the world. And we are going to help heal humanity one person at a time. So what is it that you're after? How many new wallets do you want to get out there this month? How many digital gym memberships do you want in your community, or do you want to share and get those out there? How many new node owners do you want that you help bring into the community? Once again, you can be rewarded and compensated on all of that. But the real compensation is being able to see somebody thrive and win because they have tools and products and services that can make their life better. That's what it's all about. So how do we not get excited about this? How do we not want to go out there and share this with the world? But here's what I do know. If we don't have a goal, how are we going to hit it? If we don't have a plan, then what are we after? Because we're not going to get August back. This is the only September 2025 you and I will ever have. That's it. And so what are we going to do with this month? Because once it's gone, it's gone. But what we can do by the simple actions that we do on a daily basis can build your future by the actions that you create now, can change the scenario that you're in. And as we remember, massive action solves all problems. I don't care what your problem is. Massive action can change that and can solve it. And I watched it happen again and again and again. So remember, get those distractions or compartmentalize the distractions. That's one of the reasons why I respond to texts or emails at a certain time of the day. I do certain things at certain times of the day. I'm not going to waste my time when I could be contacting people and talking to people with things that I can do when they're sleeping or when I can't get a hold of them. I'm going to compartmentalize my day based on what the most effective time frame is. If I could be talking to people now compared to this evening because it's too late or whatever, I'm going to do the things that I can do in the evening when I can't get a hold of people. I'm going to compartmentalize so that I don't have those distractions. We minimize the distractions. It's the same thing about creating speed. You want to create speed and momentum in your life, you have to do one thing: eliminate friction. It's the same thing with an engine. It's the same thing with the wheel or anything like that. So as we get started this week and this month, let's focus on those. You can have your best month ever. And it's all by making the decision now on what we do today and what we're going to consistently do throughout this month. So let's write down our goals. Let's continue to do that. And let's give away wallets. In fact, we're going to start rewarding for that. So we want to start, we're already doing some rewards, but we're going to almost like we're talking about with the swap, and we're going to here reward people and put in a raffle for people that swap. We want to reward for people. We want to reward people that are going out there and sharing wallets too, and helping set that up. Okay, so you want to participate, not because it's just going to build the community and not just because it's going to benefit those people, but there's going to be other options and opportunities to win as well. So now that I brought that up, since we're talking about rewarding people for going out there and doing those different actions, let's do it now. Let's see who our winner is for this last week. Now, once again, you got to go out there and all you do is, let's see, got to get this up, is go and you swap for ICE, and then you turn in and submit your transaction hash, and then you're going to be in the running. Okay, so this week, let me put in the numbers. Let's see who the winners are between 1 and 26. Let's see who the winner is. Boom. Let's see, I got to sit here. Boom. Oh, what's it doing? Oh, it's giving me an ad. I'm going to try this again. Maybe I just need to, every once in a while, that ad pops up on this randomizer that I have. Let's try this again. See if we don't get an ad this time. Okay, here we go. Okay, number 6. All right, Case, who is the lucky winner? Numbers from number 6 this last week.
Dwayne P. I will go send that right now.
Awesome. So Dwayne, congratulations. Whatever you swapped, whatever you took from one token and swapped for eyes, we're going to double that amount. So if you got 100,000 eyes, you're going to get another 100,000 eyes. If you got 500 or 1,000,000 eyes and you're going to get another 1,000,000 eyes. So congratulations. And we love to reward every single week on that. So make sure you're in that running. Swapping is a big deal anyway. Puts buy pressure on our token, really helps with what we're doing out there. And I loved seeing that we did see, our token can go up and down, but we did see some pretty good growth this last week, last 2 weeks actually, on our token. And we're up by about, I think, 23%. So we'll keep doing. I know the swaps are a part of that, going out there and swapping and creating that buy pressure as people are buying some of those ICE tokens. So exciting times, exciting time to be a part of Galvan. I want to thank everybody for all that you do. It's all these little things combined, all these little efforts combined that are going to blow this community up. It's all these in a good way. Again, all the little efforts combined that are going to take this and help Galvan become what it really is always intended to be. And that is a life-changing opportunity in this community for everybody that's involved. So thanks for being a part. Thanks for being the Galvanators out there. I'm Byron Belka with the team here. We wish you the best, and let's go out, have an awesome week. I'm Byron Belka, and I'm a Galvanator. Take care. We'll see you.
Galvanize the world, feel the light. With every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity.